Hello and welcome to another edition of Copper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranj and today I'm going to give you the Copper Comparison Picks for the main event fights, like the feature fight, co-main, and main event of UFC Vegas 57, Gamrot versus Tsarukyan. Oh, you gotta excuse me a little bit. I had a work dinner at this bar. I had a little bit too much to drink, and I'm stuffy. I don't know what's going on up there. I have some little nasal congestion, but I'm good enough to finish this video because it's Thursday. I gotta get it done. I keep procrastinating, watching stupid TikToks and shit. But during that time of procrastination, I did manage to sober up a little bit so I can actually talk sensibly without slurring my speech. But anyway, let's get into UFC Vegas 57, the main events. Be sure to check out the videos I've done all throughout this week, where I covered every single fight on this card up to this point. And without further ado, we're going to get into this, starting with this sloppy, horrible, I don't even know how it made the main card, heavyweight fight between Josh Parisian and Alan Baudot. I say Baudot because he is French. Oh man, my nasal congestion messed me up. Okay, Josh Parisian comes in as a slight underdog here, minus 104. These odds are from last night when I intended to do this, but by the time I got everything written on here, I looked at the watch and I was like, man, it's too late and I am just too tired. And I had a long day, long week at work this week. Did some traveling. Yeah, yesterday I came back from North Jersey and I didn't get in till late, and that's why I throw this stuff on here, but I didn't go through the video because I was like exhausted. But anyway, BetOnline said these were the odds last night. I think they're pretty still relatively close to what I have on the board for all these fights. This one did move a little bit. I'll talk about that when I get to it. But back to this horrible heavyweight fight between these two lackluster heavyweights. Unreal. Josh Parisian, 32 years old, is taking on Alan Baudot, who's 34 years old. So two heavyweights in their 30s. But you can get away with that at heavyweight because you don't have to be as speedy. It's advantageous if you are speedy, but you don't have to be. You can still compete. Let's talk about Alan Baudot, the slight favorite first. Why is he a favorite? I don't know. I guess they coin flipped it. I don't know. Alan Baudot, the Black Samurai. He's coming out of MMA Factory. That's with what's his name? Fernand Lopez. Is it? That's coach over there. But anyway, he's the training partner of Cyril Gane. That doesn't mean shit just because he's a punching bag of Cyril Gane. Really, I mean, people are like, oh, he trains with Cyril Gane, he must be good. No, I mean, sure, it helps to train with somebody who's good. That's good like that, but it's not like his skills are gonna rub off onto you. But anyway, he's coming off a loss to Parker Porter by unanimous decision. That is a common opponent for both these guys, and they both lost to big old Parker Porter. Parker Porter is coming into his own, I would say. He's performing better than expected. Before that, he had a no contest where realistically he got knocked out in the second round by Rodrigo Nascimento. Why was it turned to a no contest? Nascimento came up positive for Ritalin. Really? Ritalin. Do you know what Ritalin is? It's like what kids take for attention deficit disorder. It's like what college kids take so they can concentrate when they're studying for exams and not, it'll keep you up and keep you doing homework really well. It's whatever. But anyway, Rodrigo Nascimento tested positive for the stuff, and so his TKO round 2 got overturned because of that. Before that, he had his UFC debut where he got rocked. Tom Aspinall, it wasn't even a fight. Went in there, ground and pound, round 1 for Tom Aspinall. That was Alan Baudot's UFC debut. Prior to that, he was in TKO, which is a Canadian regional scene, where he had a win over Todd Stout. Well, is it a win? No, it's not a win. Todd Stout actually got a rear naked choke over him, but it was overturned because Todd Stout tested positive for marijuana, and the TKO up in Canada, instead of making it a no contest like they were doing back in the day here in the US, they just said, nah, that's a loss. You want to smoke weed, you're not going to win. So, there we go. Now Todd Stout lost because he tested positive marijuana, but he won that fight. If he rear naked choked him, Alan Baudot. Before that, he did have his one win in his last 5, legit win, against this guy named Yuto Nakajima. That was in Matsuri, which is obviously an Asian regional scene, like a Japanese thing. He knocked him out TKO round 1, but listen to this guy. When Alan Baudot fought him, he was 0-2. I looked at his Tapology. You know what he is now? 0-5. The guy's horrible. The guy, I think I might be able to fight him. I'm 48 years old and not in shape at all. And I think I might be able to beat this guy. So anyway, he's realistically, on paper, he's 2-2-1. 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest in his last 5. But realistically, he's 1-4, and that 1 win he has was against a guy that has never beat anybody ever. So that's Alan Baudot, okay? Let's talk about his opponent in Josh Parisian. Josh Parisian, coming off that loss to Dontel Mays, where it was humiliating. Dontel Mays got him in a crucifix and threw down some elbows. That happened in like round 3. But to top it off, he face humped him. He's driving his hips right into Josh Parisian's face. It was embarrassing and humiliating. I felt bad for Josh Parisian. I'm like, man, that is the worst way to lose. Getting Dontel Mays' big black hammer driven into the side of your face with the big hip thrust. I don't know. It's on YouTube. You can go ahead and check it out. I was unaware because I remember watching that fight and I saw he had won, but then I don't know. Maybe I walked away for some reason, but then in one of these live streams, Dave and Mbe were both like, "You didn't see that Dontel Mays how he dry humped Josh Parisian's face?" I'm like, "No." So they played it back for me, and I lost it. I died. It was hilarious. Not for Josh Parisian, but for me, it was hilarious. However, Josh Parisian, before that, he did beat Rocky Martinez. Rocky Martinez is not that bad. He's a good striker and everything. He won by split decision, but still, it's a win against a UFC fighter, and it's a legit win. There was no marijuana involved, no Ritalin involved, and Rocky Martinez isn't a winless fighter. Before that, he did take the took the loss to Parker Porter unanimous decision. That was his UFC debut for Josh Parisian. To get into the UFC, he beat Chad Johnson on the Contender Series, punches from Mount in round 1. And Chad Johnson, that is a legit win. Can you say Alan Baudot has a legit win in his last 5? No, you can't, except for that chunk from that Japanese guy. And before that, Josh Parisian beat Marcus Maulding, punches round 1, but that's, neither here nor there. Josh Parisian has a very slight height advantage, but he will have the size, like weight advantage. Alan Baudot fought at 205. Josh Parisian, I think he has a cut weight to make 265. I'm not kidding you. But he's very, agile for his weight. He usually weighs in roughly, I want to say like 262, 263-ish, so above 260, but he does make weight. Tapology has him listed fighting out of Scorpion Fighting Systems, but if you check his Instagram, he is at Murcielago. He has a picture of him like a week or 2 weeks ago, I think, where he's with the coach from Murcielago, And he's also New Mensa. Joaquin Buckley is also in that picture, and they're all sweaty and everything, so you know he's just got done training. It's legit. He's been training Murcielago with Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley coming off a phenomenal win over that guy Albert Diriev just last week, was it? Yeah, I picked that correctly. Anyway, so there you have that. Josh Parisian does have a slightly better experience record. He's 14-5. I'm not saying he's phenomenal. Baudot is not good. There's been flashes of a quality fighter. Flashes. He had a good round 1 against Alan Nascimento, I guess. And he had like a decent competitive fight for a little bit. Round 1 against Parker Porter, but then after round 1, he just goes kaput. His base, being out of MMA Factory, is kickboxing. That's his base style. But needless to say, Josh Parisian, I think. Well, let's see. You know what? Let's see what the cappers have to say before I speak anymore. All right. Taking the favorite in Alan Baudot, the Black Samurai. By the way, that Japanese guy that he beat, that's now 0-5. When he beat him, it was 0-2. His nickname is just Samurai. Samurai. Yuto Nakajima. That's how you gotta say Japanese names. You gotta put your bass in your voice when you say Japanese names. Yuto Nakajima. Samurai. Well, Black Samurai beat regular Samurai, who is complete garbage. 0-5 now. But he did take a loss to Dawoon Jung. Just coincidentally, I know. I was like, well, at least this guy fought Dawoon Jung. But anyway, it's not hard to lose to people. Anybody can lose, you know. Let's see. Alan Baudot, taking him. We've got Sherdog. Oh, they're split. Sherdog has Ed Duffy and Keith Schillen. Okay, Schillen is taking Alan Baudot. However, his counterpart on the show, Keith Duffy, or Ed Duffy, Keith Schillen. Sherdog Duffy, Duffy, is on the side of Josh Parisian. And Keith Schillen, just to say, the only reason he took Baudot is to be contrarian to Duffy. Just cause. He has no basis to it. Low confidence pick from every single capper on this card had low confidence pick when it comes to this fight. All right. Then we've got Leighton from the UFC Gambling Addicts. UFC Gambling Addicts. Leighton also on the side of Alan Baudot. Jump back over here. We've got King of Correct Down, 50.95 on the side of Josh Parisian. Then we've got the Couch Warrior podcast. That is Couch Warrior is a guy named Mike, and this week he had a good guest in Lou Betcha. Lou is from I think it's called like Elevator Bets or Bet Elevator or something, but I'm unfamiliar with the guy, but I know he's like friends with Uncle Weezy, and he really seems to be a sharp capper. I'm really unfamiliar with him. But anyway, Couch Warrior, both of those guys, Mike and Lou, are on the side of Alan Baudot. Neither one, of course, confident. Couch Warrior podcast. Then we got Fight Night Picks. The Allen brothers. Fight Night Picks. Matt Allen is on the side of Parisian, but for the tiebreaker, his older brother, Craig. Oh, look at me. I did have a little bit too much drinky tonight, but it's all good. Fight Night Picks. Craig is on the side of Alan Baudot. And me, if you couldn't tell from my breakdown, I'm on the side of Josh Parisian only because he has He has beaten UFC quality fighters, where Baudot has yet to do that. He's only shown flashes, and Parisian, in some books, I think you can get him at even money plus 100, I've heard. So, dog or pass on this low-level heavyweight fight. And Parisian, I think, is just better anyway, with wins off Roque Martinez and who else? Chad Johnson. So I'm going to take Parisian to get it done. These guys both have real crap cardio, so I can't say decision. I'm going to have to say he's not going to submit him. Is it TKO? TKO. How did he beat the other guys? He beat Chad Johnson. Punches from Mount. That beat TKO. And he beat Roque Martinez. Split decision. So Parisian's been there. Baudot, he lost to Parker Porter by decision, but everybody else he lost to by TKO, or, you know, he actually won because of stupid overturned drug use, Ritalin and marijuana. So anyway, Josh Parisian should win this. People are like, oh, stay away, don't be a degenerate, do not bet this fight. Yeah, bullshit. Bet this fight, bet Josh Parisian. That's money in the bank. I'm sorry. So, moving on. Next, we have the welterweight fight between the Haitian sensation Neil Magny taking on Nomad Shavkat Rakhmonov. This kid, Shavkat Rakhmonov, big minus 400 favorite. This is actually, now it's minus 450. This one I did check before I started recording this, when I was in my little procrastination zone watching stupid meme TikTok crap. Neil Magny is a plus 350. Neil Magny has been known to, he has the ability to stop a hype train, but Shavkat Rakhmonov is the real deal. I don't think he's minus 450 real deal, but he's got that O in the loss column, so he's yet to see defeat ever. Neil Magny 26-8. However, Neil Magny will have a slight 2-inch height and 3-inch reach advantage, and Magny knows enough to keep fights at range. He can use that advantage in his striking. That would be one of his paths to victory. But Rakhmonov is a phenomenal striker himself. Let's see what the let's first talk about Shavkat Rakhmonov. He is a, what is he? He's like a Mongolian or Kazakhstani or something like that. I should have written it down, but he's coming off wins, obviously wins. He's 15-0, but they're good wins. Listen, he beat Carlston Harris. Carlston Harris is low-key good. He's just undervalued. Nobody gives him credit for being good, but he is good. But the way Shavkat beat him, a spinning hook kick to ground strikes, round 1, taking care of business. Okay, before that, he beat Michael Prazeres, rear naked choke, round 2. His UFC debut, he took out Alex the Cowboy Oliveira, guillotine. Alex Oliveira, the Cowboy Oliveira, is definitely veteran skilled. Guillotine round 1, and that was Shavkat's UFC debut. You don't get much better than that, right? Before that, he was a champ over at M1 Challenge. And another, I was looking through, and they're not cans either. They're decent fighters. Matter of fact, he beat Jun Young Park by rear naked choke in round 2 in the Battle of the Nomads in 2016. So it's not like he climbed through. His 15 wins were against 0-0, 0-2 fighters. You know, it wasn't like that. These guys are legit people that Shavkat Rakhmonov is phenom. He is phenomenal for the Nomad. I guess rumor has it he's a direct descendant of Genghis Khan, but I heard Genghis Khan used to rape everybody. When he was reigning, he would force sex upon, 30 to 50 women a night, just planting his seed. It's recorded that I think over 600 offspring, and then so I pretty much you watching this video might have a little bit of Genghis Khan in you, but Shavkat is definitely, if you look at his family tree, I heard you can directly lineate right to Genghis Khan as being a great grandfather, whatever, what have you. Maybe Shavkat's great grandmother, whatever, was one of Genghis Khan's repeat wives, like ones, not just a one night rape, but you know, I don't know. He probably took wives every time he raided a village. I'm just saying, he was a bad man. Let's see. Shavkat is now training out of Sanford MMA, which is phenomenal. Henry Hooft is, despite the language barrier, I did see him in a couple Instagram pictures. And I know I saw Shavkat in a picture with, who else on this card? That Kazakhstani Shalinian Nurdambieke. I hope I said that name right. Shalinian Nurdambieke, who is going to lose to, who's he fighting? Doesn't matter. He's going to lose as well. But Shavkat is not going to lose this fight to Neil Magny, and I'll tell you. Well, before I jump to that, let's see Neil Magny's last five. He's coming off a win against Max Griffin, pretty good, but it was split decision, you know. Oh, by the way, Shavkat, all finishes. I think he's got like something like 8 knockouts, 7 subs, or flip it around, maybe 7 knockouts, 8 subs. But every fight that he's had has finished. He's only gone to round 2, I think, once or maybe twice in his career, 2 times. And I don't think he's ever even been to round 3. But Neil Magny coming off that split decision win over Max Griffin. I love Neil Magny too. By the way, Neil Magny just had in the end of May, just recently, had a new baby boy named Dominic. So those guys, like the rare 4 or 5% of you that are taking Magny, that's a plus when a guy has another. But it's not his first baby; it's his second boy. So if it was his first child, that'd be a little bit more of a plus there. Fighters with new kids, they tend to have a little bit more oomph behind it, more will to win because they're a new father. Before that, Neil Magny beat Jeff Neal Hands of Steel by unanimous decision. He took a loss to Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa out-wrestled him. He's a better wrestler. Michael Chiesa, just out-wrestled him, got unanimous decision there. He did beat Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler is starting to come toward the end of his, if he's not there, he's fighting next week, but I'm just saying Robbie Lawler's, his best days are behind him. And he has a win over Anthony Rocco Martin before that. Neil Magny training out of Team Elevation, where he's been a, staple fighter there. Constantly out of Elevation. I don't think he's ever switched gyms. And it's verified on his Instagram. He has a picture, and he's training with Austin Thud Hubbard. So, yeah, good for Neil Magny. Like I mentioned already, he does have a 2-inch height and 3-inch reach advantage, but that's where his advantages stop because Shavkat is 27, Magny is 34, right? Yeah, 34. I said that right. Welterweight fight, so age is starting to make a difference. Not so much, but still at 170 pounds. You don't want to be coming, once you're starting to edge out of your prime in the 30s, whereas in the heavyweight fights, you're still in your prime at mid-30s, okay? So let's write down all these people taking Shavkat, because they're all taking Shavkat. I don't even got to say that. He's a minus 450 favorite. Of course they're taking him. We've got the Fight Night Pick Brothers. Matt and Craig Allen. We've got UFC Gambling Addicts Leighton, of course. Both the guys from Sherdog, Keith and Ed Duffy and Keith Schillen. Both say that Ed Duffy said submission round 1 for Rakhmonov if you want to prop it. King of Correct Downs, KFC, also saying submission round 1 if you want to profit. And both Lou and Mike from Couch Warriors, all in agreement that Shavkat Rakhmonov is gonna rock Magny's world and get the big win there. I suppose you could, lock it in if you want. It's a little too steep of odds for me, but I will put him in this parlay because Shavkat should most likely, not without a doubt, but most likely he should win this fight over Neil Magny. But low key, I always have a little piece of my heart going for the underdog. I like to see hype trains end. I like to be, oh wow, he just messed up everybody's parlay. I love saying that, but he will be in a couple of my parlays. Not too many though, not at minus 450. It's not worth the value. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to take a flyer on Magny though. I think his chances of winning are very slim. That's why I'm not going to throw my money away on that. But, oh, what did I do? What did I do? I am not taking Neil Magny. I'm sorry about that. See? Ugh. Those blue moons and American honey starting to get to me. I'm taking Shavkat. He should do it without any problem, and he should probably do it by we'll go with submission. I don't think round 1 though. I'm gonna say round 2. I think Neil Magny might be able to hang for a round. If Neil Magny's got good fight IQ, he will use that, and he might have it, and he might be trained to keep it at range, keep him, just stay on the outside, just keep jabbing him. But I think Shavkat's gonna rush in, get a takedown, use his grappling. Magny's got grappling too, don't get me wrong. I do believe he's a certified black belt, but Shavkat has better grappling. I think he's going to use that, get him on the ground, and probably rear naked choke maybe. I don't know. I think he's going to do it by submission, so that's why I'm taking Shavkat Rakhmonov by submission. Round 2, that might be, if you're picking the round and the method, it'll probably be plus money. So there you go. Finally, moving on, we got the main event. With these two warriors at lightweight, 155 pounds, we've got decent sized favorite, Arman Tsarukyan, record of 18 and only 2 losses, minus 280 favorite, taking on Mateusz Gamrot, the Gamer, only 1 loss, 20 and 1 loss for Gamer, more wins, less losses. For the underdog, plus 240 underdog. And that I did check Bet Online before I started doing this, because I think last night he might have been plus 210, and Arman might have been minus 260. So, like I said, these lines are pretty accurate. It might have fluctuated a little bit here or there, but that'll happen. So let's talk about the favorite in Arman Ahalkalakats. Arman Tsarukyan. He is 25 years old, taking on Mateusz Gamrot, who's 31 years old. Okay, Arman Tsarukyan's coming off he's coming off a string 5-fight win streak. He's beaten Joel Alvarez, ground and pound, round 2. Christos Giagos, who was on this card, probably going to lose, by left hook to ground strikes, round 1. Then he beat steamroller Matt Fravola, unanimous decision, and probably one of his best wins. They're all decent wins. They're not chumps. Davi Ramos, he beat him by unanimous decision. And before that, he beat Olivier Aubin-Mercier, unanimous decision. Prior to that, he did take one of his 2 losses, and it was to Islam Makhachev by unanimous decision. That was his UFC debut, and it was on very short notice. I think he fought him like on a week or 2 short notice, so he did not have a full camp, and I guess he tweeted, "Give me a full camp and I'll fight Islam Makhachev for the belt." Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, buddy. First, you have to get over this guy. Tapology says he's been training at Tiger Muay Thai. I don't know, maybe. I checked out his Instagram, and he's got one training video, and he's at Capatillo Boxing Gym, where he was not rolling around, not wrestling. He was straight up boxing, and the coach was doing the thing with the pool noodles, you know, just like just loose sparring, just working on his boxing skills. He is an Armenian-born Russian, and yeah, the guy's pretty darn good. Well, let's talk about his opponent, Mateusz Gamrot. Mateusz Gamrot coming off a win against Diego Ferreira, submission by strikes, round 2. Before that, he beat Lil Heathen Jeremy Stevens of Kimura in 1 minute of round 1. Jeremy Stevens just came off a win last week in PFL, I think it was. Close. It was a close one, but it doesn't matter. Clay Collier lost, and so that messed up my whole parlay. But anyway, Jeremy Stevens, still getting wins in lesser promotions. Prior to that, Mateusz Gamrot beat Scott Holtzman, ground and pound, round 2. Before that, he had his UFC debut where he lost to Guram Kutateladze by split decision, which is controversial because some people are saying that was a robbery. It could have went Mateusz Gamrot's way. It was very close. I don't know. I can see it. I can see an argument for either side. So I'm going to chalk that up as a legit loss. And before that, he was a 2-weight KSW champion over in Poland, where he won his last belt against Marian Ziolkowski, unanimous decision. Mateusz Gamrot will have the 3-inch height advantage here, and he is training out of American Top Team. And you look at his Instagram, the dude is gnarly. The dude's training with Dustin Poirier. He's training with Jorge Masvidal, and he's training with the coach, Mike Brown, one of the coaches at ATT, Pedro Munoz. He's got pictures training with Pedro Munoz, and he's buddy training with a KSW fighter in the name Krzysztof Klaczyk, probably another Polish buddy, so somebody that speaks his language. And he's also doing other fun things outside of training with this dude. So I think they're like very good friends and training partners. And this guy seems legit, the KSW buddy. So we got Mateusz Gamrot, 3-inch height advantage, training out of ATT with Dustin Poirier. I mean, these are legit. Check his Instagram out. They're legit. Dustin Poirier, Jorge Masvidal, Pedro Munoz, the coach Mike Brown, and Krzysztof Klaczyk. Okay? Where Arman Tsarukyan, look at his Instagram. He's riding mountain bikes on the Red Rocks. He's got pictures of him vacationing in Hawaii. Oh, the most beautiful place in the world. He's posing, model posing. And he's got like that one training video to music where he's doing the again in the Capatillo Boxing Gym. Otherwise, I don't see him training with anybody that I know. I'm just saying maybe he is. Who knows? But the timestamps on his Hawaiian vacation, that same time, Mateusz Gamrot, his timestamps, he's putting it in at ATT. Okay? Also, Mateusz Gamrot, he's got a promotional video for what's it called? I don't know what it is. It's All-Star Athletics. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's like a clothing, something. It's something. but he's got this like commercial or promotional thing for All Star Athletics, and it is phenomenal. It's awesome. It had me pumped up watching it. It's set to music, and then like it shows him training super hard. One part, he's training so hard, he's like dry heaving, almost throwing up, like, but instead of quitting, his coach pushes him to get on the bike, the elliptical bicycle. So went from dry heave throwing up, get on the damn bike, and he's on the bike, and the dude just that pushed. I was like, man, Arman Tsaruikian, he's freaking awesome. He should, you know, minus 280. He should rock this dude. But then I shouldn't even looked at Instagram, because now I'm siding with the underdog. I don't care. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is full capper comparison picks. Again, full capper comes against Gamrot. I'm gonna quickly throw down these cappers, but here we go. We've got King of Crackdowns, KFC, by decision. We've got UFC Gambling Addicts, Leighton. We've got both Matt and Craig Allen Fight Night Picks. We've got both Keith and Ed from Sherdog. We've got both the guys from Couch Warriors. All of them, all over Arman Tsaruikian, saying he's a better striker. Gamrot's showing signs of fatigue and later in the round, so his cardio's not really there. I don't know, man. I think he's been putting in work, and that's verified by timestamps on his Instagram, where he's hitting the pads that Jorge Masvidal's holding for him, where he's standing in the ring next to Mike Brown, just drenched in sweat, where he's posing with Dustin Poirier and Jorge. Dustin's got the pads on his shins, and so you know they're working. You go to Tsarukian's, I'm riding my mountain bike. I'm riding my mountain bike. I'm doing Red Rocks mountain bike trailing. I'm in Hawaii. This is the most beautiful place in the world. I'm in Hawaii. Look at my car. Look at my clothes. Look at my background. Look at how flashy I am. I don't know. That put me off. And at plus money, at plus 240, why not? What? Tell me what's wrong with Mateusz Gamrot? Why? He's got a better record. Did he show? Yeah, he might have showed signs of fatigue, but I think he's working on that shit. I just don't get it. The level of competition, okay, Joel Alvarez, Davi Ramos, those are good wins. Matt Frivola's kind of like a gatekeeper-ish. Christos Giagos, you're going to see him lose again. Mateusz Gamrot, Diego Ferreira, Jeremy Stevens, Scott Holtzman, a very tight fight with Guram Kutateladze. I mean, come on. Two-time KSW, two-weight KSW champ. The dude's been doing Polish national wrestling tournaments as a preteen, as a little kid. He's on the Polish national wrestling team. I'm not kidding you. I'm not making this shit up. This is legit shit. It kind of bugs me that nobody's on the side of Gamrot except for this dude, except for Range. I already put money on him on a straight bet, and I'm gonna put him in a bunch of parlays. Thankfully, it's the final, it's the main event, so I can hedge out. Well, it won't be a hedge because Tsarukian's such a big favorite. I'm not putting Tsarukyan. I'll put Tsarukyan in maybe a couple like my contrarian parlay. I got a couple books that I reserve just for opposite bets that I just throw. I'll do like a 5-fight parlay of people that I don't think's gonna win, just cause, I'll do a round robin, maybe like $2 per bet or something, just stupid, just in case shit. But that's about as far as I'm throwing Arman Tsaruikian in. I'm heavy on Mateusz Gamrot. I'll make a t-shirt bet with Dave tomorrow if he wants. I think Mateusz Gamrot's going to shock everybody. I think he's going to shock everybody. And every single capper I've seen across the board pretty much, as far as I know. I mean, I didn't watch them all up to the championship fight, but across the board I got tons of love for Tsarukyan and no, not a nothing. Nobody on the side of Gamrot. Whatever. I'm taking them. That's that. You can tail me, fade me. I really don't give a shit. Okay? So to recap, time check. I'm going over. Okay. To recap, I've got Josh Parisian beating Alan Baudot. I'm confident he will beat Alan Baudot because Alan Baudot is trash. Then I've got Magny losing to Shavkat Rakmonov. I posed a question last night because I came back home late from Jersey. I did manage to catch some of the Blood Money, Cody and Johnny K picks. They do a Wednesday night live stream, and I did jump into the chat and I was like, hey, who do you think out of these four welterweight prospects, they're not champs yet, who do you think's the best one? And I listed Shavkat Rakhmonov, Khamzat Chimaev, Jack Della Maddalena, and Sean Brady. And I'm still stumped. I don't know. Out of those four, I would probably have to rank. I'm a big fan of Sean Brady, so I would have to. I don't know. It's very tight. That four-way, the 170-pound division is phenomenal. But anyway, back to this. Sorry to go off topic. Shavkat Rakhmonov should submit Magny. I don't know exact round, but I will throw it on Tapology. I'll say submission round 2. And finally, the big upset of the card for me, Mateusz Gamrot, spoiling everybody's hype on a halakets, Arman Tsarukyan. Go Poland. Go Polish. What's his nickname? Gamer. Let's go Gamer. I'm pulling for Mateusz Gamrot, and he will be my Tapology pick. I'm all about the Gamrot. Welcome to Gamrot. I will say, the one brother from Perfect Parlay Pursuit, Alex, I do believe he did take Gamrot. So, remember I said earlier I couldn't find many cappers that took Gamrot? Check that off. Alex, Perfect Parlay Pursuit, I think he's on the side of Gamrot. There's probably a couple others too, but some of them, when I'm doing my sheets, I can't watch a full 2-hour video of a capper's pick. So if I'm featuring the capper, I will target those fights that I'm featuring on, and then I'll move on to the next one. There's only so many free hours in a day for my research, so that's how it's got to be done. If you are with me and taking Gamrot, please put it in put your opinions into the comments. I know Dev the dude is lock Tsarukyan, lock. Dev, I love that you're always active in my comments. I love that about you. But anyway, there you have it. Gather the info, place those bets, cash those tickets. I appreciate you if you give me a thumbs up and fill those comments. If you haven't subscribed, definitely do that. Tomorrow I will be doing the live stream with Dave and special guest Cody from Blood Money MMA Bets will be joining me as well. That's going to be probably around 8:30 Eastern time, depending on how soon Dave can get home. He's 3 hours behind me, so West Coast time, like 5:30. So Dave will be eating dinner, and I'll just be starting to feel my buzz. But I don't know. Fridays I start feeling the buzz early anyway. But there you have it. Good luck on your bets. And I hope to see you guys all tomorrow in the chat when I go over the cards after watching face-offs and weigh-ins and face-offs. Thanks for watching. Good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.